These theories will make you question everything. And remember, it's for entertainment purposes only.
You know, they were talking about climate change yesterday, and now we're learning that scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, nice to see you. Extraordinary seeing Al Gore and Bill Clinton there together with Charlie, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, they did not get into this discussion,
no.
though. But it is fascinating. I mean, lasers, really, to change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics rather than simply waving our hands and uttering mumbo-jumbo. We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now. And in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam.
So what does it mean for drought areas that need to have rain for crops? And if they don't have them, there's the consequences of famine.
Well, the bad news is if it's a clear blue sky, it's not going to do anything at all because it only takes water vapor that's already in the air and condenses it. However, for floods, for agriculture, farmers, for people planning wedding parties, football games, you name it, outdoor events and agriculture and flooding and even hurricanes, all of them could be subject to weather modification.
Incredibly interesting, Professor Michio Kaku. Thank you so much. You know, they were talking about climate change.
You heard her say alleged to, right? It's kind of like she stopped him, corrected him, so he didn't kind of tell on anybody or expose anything or say something he wasn't supposed. Alleged to. Alleged to. She made sure he said it. You know what I mean? I thought that was rather interesting. Now, this just goes to show you this has been going on as long as we can and as far back as we can go. This has been going on. Them controlling the weather. Them controlling the weather. This also makes me think y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. Different areas dry up. Different areas have droughts and they be struggling. They be in need of rain and water and different things and nothing ever happens. But you've possibly, allegedly have had control of the weather for a long time now. This is... Can y'all imagine that now? Oh, we can't play today in this game because it's raining. Boop. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not raining anymore. This man, what is that? This is the part of the simulation where they're controlling they're showing you now that they can control the weather, man. It makes me feel more and more that we are in a simulation. Fam.
A billionaire friend of mine, who's a legitimate billionaire, told me that it's entirely possible that some of these guys are trillionaires. Some of these Middle Eastern guys. He's like, you've never seen wealth like this. It's insane. Do you know in the United Arab Emirates, they make it rain every week? Once a week, they make it rain.
I mean,
they seed the clouds.
Really?
They make it rain. Yeah, because they're in the desert. And they're like, I don't like this. I like it to rain. So they put all that that they have to put into the sky to make it rain, which they've been doing forever, cloud seeding, but insanely expensive. But they do it once a week. So 52 times a year it rains there.
I ain't feeling it today. I'm feeling. What you feeling? You feeling rain? That's ridiculous amounts of money that you're able to do that. You know what I mean? How much money do you have to have or in your possession to be able to control the weather and walk outside and be like, feeling rain today? Cloudy? What you want? Huh? You tell me, and we'll go with that. You know, what type of thing you want? That's crazy, man. That's a lot of money to have. But you know, they would know. They would know. You know what I mean? You find somebody that's a trillionaire, a few drinks in them, I bet he'll spill all the secrets, bro. Yeah, we control the weather. We've been controlling the weather since forever. Y'all think it's just by choice? Nah. We make it happen whenever.
So the government is controlling the weather, or at least they can. So already there is this weather modification method in which we can control or create rain. There is 3 methods that are found: cloud seeding, cloud boostering, and bioperspiration, in which we can use bacteria to make rain. So imagine if we use these methods in places like Cape Town, in which drought is very rapid every year. So the government is controlling the weather.
So then we gotta sit back and think as well, y'all. What is this type? What are they putting in it that could affect us? So if I'm walking in, what is actually hitting my skin if I'm walking outside and rain gets on my hands and stuff like that? What's in that they use to create the rain? That's what has my mind thinking now. Is it bad if we breathe it? If it touches us over time? See, we don't even know what they're using.
This is not rain, as we've been telling you for the past 2 weeks now. They're doing military exercises out there, and although it looks like rain has stopped, showers here are legitimate. This is not rain, as we've been telling you.
That sounds like a dude who wanted to say that. You know what I mean? That might have been his last day at work. You know what I mean? But it sounded like he wanted to say that and get that out.
The government can literally control the weather. I've heard about this. During the Vietnam War, the CIA would seed the clouds in the monsoon season to make it rain even harder and more.
That in itself is just crazy.
Yeah. So think about that. They literally have ways of controlling the weather. Bro, they're playing God. Dog, that's scary to even think about, though, that somebody has that much power to do such a thing.
The government can control the weather, but we laugh when we say that pigeons are careless.
The government can literally control the weather.
So it's so good to see people like expose themselves to this information, wake up from just walking around just clueless in the world, and just they see others just like myself hear this information. Is like, yo, are you serious? This has been going on, and this ain't just started now. This has been going on for a minute. So to see that other people wake up.
Do we really need solar panels, windmills, and electric cars if we can control the weather with laser beams?
Instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
Theoretical physicist Dr. Michio Kaku joins me now. So, Doctor, has the U.S. government been experimenting with weather control?
Believe it or not, the answer is yes. People don't realize that, well, as Mark Twain said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, the government takes exception to that. During the Vietnam War, there was something called Operation Popeye, a top-secret program to seed the clouds over Vietnam during the monsoon season to wash the Viet Cong out.
Ooh.
And they actually tried that.
With laser beams?
Well, no, with silver iodide crystals to condense the water vapor to cause nuclei that would then cause raindrops, and that would then accelerate the monsoon season. Okay?
So are they doing this today, the U.S. government?
Well, it turns out that 8 states in the United States practice some form of weather modification. For example, seeding the clouds with silver iodide. And the Chinese, famously at the Olympics in the year 2008, seeded the clouds in order to have it rain outside of the Olympics. So,
Did it work?
Apparently, yeah.
So is it just China and the United States trying to control the weather?
No, many countries have some kind of weather modification program because the economy, trade, war, everything is dependent upon the weather, if you think about it, right?
So can we make things less hot? Because it was a hot summer.
Well, believe it or not, in Dubai, they actually have a laser system based on drones that go into the clouds and fire a laser beam, and these ions then form nuclei for raindrops.
Oh.
And it accelerates rain in the Middle East. They get 4 inches of rain per year in Dubai.
All
4
right.
inches.
So I can just shoot a laser in the sky and not have to buy a Tesla?
Well, in the United States now, we're also experimenting with terawatt lasers. These are trillion-watt lasers. They're pulsed. They produce more energy in a split second than all the nuclear power plants on the planet Earth. However, it's only for a brief second of time, but in that brief second of time, you ionize and electrify the weather so that you get raindrops.
All right, after COVID, this sounds a little risky, but I'm sure Joe Biden has it perfectly under control. Thank you, doctor. Do we really need solar panels, windmills, and electric?
Yeah, where do you think playing Mother Nature is gonna get us? Where do y'all think this is gonna get us? And if you think I'm gonna sit here and hear y'all tell me that we have the ability to change the weather, that y'all don't have the ability to spark or produce or make happen hurricanes and tornadoes as well. See, I'm gonna start looking at all of this very differently now. Now that y'all are coming out and confirming these disasters that happen, I'm gonna start looking at things a little different now and saying, okay, was this orchestrated? Maybe this company is used during this disaster and now the stock goes up. Was this orchestrated? This is what you open up. This is the type of things that happen. This is where people's minds are gonna go.
If you're unsure that weather modification is real or not, take a look at this. Bill Gates wants to make a program that sprays dust into the atmosphere and blocks the sun. Then we have this company that you can pay to have a rain-free wedding day. Let's not forget, guys, Operation Popeye. The United States government literally used weather modification in Vietnam War. Can you imagine how much more advanced they are right now? Also, in case you haven't heard, Mexico just banned the use of weather modification. You can also go right here to the North American Weather Modification Council website where you can see all the days that they have sprayed the out of us. But don't worry, they claim it's environmentally safe. They don't need our permission. Just remember, if they can control the weather, they can control our food. If you're unsure that weather
Environmentally safe. Y'all expect us to believe that? You're gonna have to do more than just some press release put out that is environmentally safe. But I want to go back to this company. Where's that at? She showed a company that's actually already capitalizing off of this. I think this is it right this. For 100,000, excuse me, let me add another zero on there. For $100,000, this company will guarantee you a rain-free wedding. Cloud seeding to make them disappear. It's the latest trend in weddings. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And this is in People. This is allegedly in People magazine or People website or whatever, is where she looks like she got part of this article from. Yo, you got people out here paying $100,000? I'm about to go figure it out. I don't know. I need to partner with somebody. Y'all know I ain't getting them no planes, and you got to get a plane and get up into the clouds. So I need to partner with somebody, man. But I think I found us a lucrative business, y'all. If we could figure this thing out, $100,000 to change the weather. That's different. You got some people out here making fun of it, bro, but I'm no longer laughing at this point. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might think it's a game and everything like that, but I'm not laughing no more. Chemtrails up close and personal. All right, so who's gonna be the person to tell us? Is that jet fuel? Is that the fuel coming out? Or what is that? I know somebody's gonna be in there who's been around this, is in that profession, knows it, different things like that, work on planes. Is that jet fuel? Or are we looking at them actually doing chemtrails? And this is the up and close and personal view of it. I need to know.
Covered. So they're making it seem like the sun has set when it really hasn't.
I knew I wasn't bugging. So the sun is setting at 3:30 in the afternoon, right? Why? I knew I wasn't bugging. They doing this with daylight savings time. They got daylight savings time now. So they're like, okay, now we can really block out the sun by 3, 4 o'clock. And by 4 o'clock, there's no sun. It's 5 o'clock. It's feeling like it's 10, 7, 8 o'clock, and it's really 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I have never seen no shit like this. I know I'm not crazy. Because what the is this? Like, they think that they're really slick. Okay, in the summertime, they would block the sun with the clouds, and it would just be a cloudy ass day. It wouldn't be sunny. Now that they have this daylight savings time, they're like, aha, now we can block the sun earlier than it's supposed to be blocked. The sun is normally not supposed to set during daylight savings time until about 5:30, 6 o'clock. Because in the summertime, the sun is setting by 7:38. So this is not making any sense. So you're telling me the sun is setting by 3 o'clock? Come again. Come the fuck again.
Covered.
I kind of agree with her a little bit because we've been sitting around the house lately and we be like, man, it feels like it's 10:30 at night and it's only 6 or it's only 5. And we're like, man, it doesn't feel normal. Does it feel normal to y'all? Do y'all sit around? If you sit around and have those same conversations, then it doesn't feel normal to you either. That should let us know. We got to go off of our gut feeling, bro, and know that something's going on and something's not right. This has happened to me multiple times in the past few weeks where I've been like, man, and I'm sitting around and I'm getting ready to shut it down and it's still early. My kids, they're like, where you going, Dad? I'm going to bed. It's late. No, it's not. It's only 7 o'clock. And then you start looking at yourself like, man, am I getting old? Or you say to yourself, man, I didn't even feel tired really, but I felt like it was late.
This is video from a TIE fighter jet flying into a hailstorm to try to stop the hail from creating massive damage on the ground. But is that even possible? The Thai Air Force launched silver iode flares from the jet into the storm. The idea is that water vapor in the clouds will condense on the silver iodide particles, causing the precipitation to fall as rain or small pieces of hail instead of large hailstones. It's called cloud seeding, and it's actually a pretty common practice in Thailand and other countries around the world, including parts of the U.S. Multiple reports say that it's hard to tell whether cloud seeding has much of an effect or not, but it is possible. In this case, the Thai Air Force was hopeful their efforts would prevent more hail damage after the storm clobbered a northern province. This is video from a Thai fighter jet flying into a...
See that storm that they showed in the video? To me, now that looks orchestrated. That looks orchestrated. Yeah, y'all been slowly implementing this for a long time. Now y'all want to be out with it all of a sudden? Why now? Why tell us now? Before you've been denying it. Don't feel right. It don't. Told the people who were at the forefront of exposing people doing chemtrails and different things like that, you know what I mean, cloud seeding or whatever they called it, that were called crazy. What about them? Y'all owe them an apology, man. They were on to them early. They were on to them. And no, the government couldn't. That's what I feel about some of the things we hear today when people step up and be like, that's not possible. No. And they want to call you your names and say you're not smart, you got a low IQ and this, that, and the third. And then several years down the line, it comes out. Y'all owe those people an apology, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at there. They messing with the clouds so much, the clouds don't even look real or look the same anymore. This is what happens. You're starting to mess with or try to be Mother Nature, and look what you're doing to the clouds, man. Has anybody thought of the long-term effects of this type of stuff? What could possibly happen? Mess around and create this super cloud or some type of cloud that never stops raining or starts to produce this harmful rain. Like, we never hear about what could go wrong until it goes wrong. Then they want to point the finger. And people that was on the side of doing it is now on the other side acting like they've been on our side the entire time. No, you haven't. Was that fuel? That's the question we have to ask ourselves nowadays. Was that fuel or wasn't it? Gotta ask ourselves that now when you look up in the sky. It used to be as a kid, you look up and see them doing that and you just get excited. You know what I mean? You was hoping they write some words or do some crazy stunts as they writing words. We didn't know.
Odds are pretty good. It'll grow under the right conditions. But what about seeding clouds to generate water? Years of persistent drought across large portions of the country are causing scientists in the Rocky Mountains to use a technique called cloud seeding to raise critically low water levels.
Cloud seeding is a process that injects silver iodide particles into clouds that are not producing ice very well on their own. We can insert the silver iodide through aircraft flying in the clouds or from ground-based generators that release the smoke plume that floats up into the clouds over the mountains. And once the silver iodide gets into the cloud, it forms ice, and then that ice can readily grow into snow.
Over time, the new powder adds to the existing snowpack, which melts and flows into surrounding waterways like the Colorado River. According to the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, roughly 40 million Americans across 7 states rely on water from the Colorado River and its tributaries for drinking, farming, and recreation.
It's not like we're building a reservoir for one particular water use or one group of water users. It impacts everybody.
But while researchers say cloud seeding is a safe and proven way to raise water levels, it's not always a guarantee.
You can't.
The odds are pretty good.
Who says it's safe? You know what I mean? I need more information on why it's safe. And I know people are going to be like, yo, this is cloud seeding. It's been going on for years, decades, whatever. That's cool. But what have they moved on to since then? That's the part I'm concerned with. What have they moved on to? Start looking at those natural disasters a different way, I'm telling you.
That's enough sunlight for us. Time to cover it back up.
That's enough sunlight for us?
That's enough sunlight.
That's enough sunlight for us? That's enough. Y'all had enough. I think that's enough for them today. Enough sunlight. Yeah, give them darkness. These jokers got their own light switch. They could just daylight, darkness, rain, no rain. Or at the push of a button, man. At the push of a button. Someday, and whether you believe in a simulation or not, someday somebody, if not already, if we're in a simulation, it's already going on, but if not, somebody will have the controls in front of them and be able to push rain, sunshine, cloudy day. I sound like I sound like a Temptation song. But they'll be able to do all of that. The push of a button. Listen, man, if this stuff right here doesn't send you down a deep rabbit hole, I'm surprised, because I know it's going to continue. I'm going to continue down. So y'all get at me in the comment section, man, and let me know what you thought. and leave a like and stick around and stay tuned. Till next one, I'm gone.